Start streaming. Hello, everybody. Let's just wait a couple minutes here for me to make sure that the streaming is working and we can begin. I am trying to use NVIDIA RTX Voice today. There are lots of dogs in the neighborhood that have decided to start some sort of concert, and using the raw output from the microphone was not very good, to put it mildly. I'm going to Okay, so it seems that everything's all right with the stream. I will keep trying to monitor it here on my tablet. How can I turn off the audio? Here. Okay, so let's begin. So I am Cage, and I have trying to learn how to use Blender to do 3D modeling and animation for some time. So I have made some tutorials, and I have followed some tutorials, and now I have decided to try to do a little project to see if I can do something by myself. So I am in no way a professional, and you should expect lots of mistakes and lots of Googling around. So what I'm going to do. So when I was a child, I used to watch this cartoon called the Wacky Races. Not that I am that old, but it's just I just watched reruns on the television, and I really liked it. It's a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, and it's basically a story about a bunch of drivers and a walkie car, and their very interesting cars running around and doing all sorts of things. It's a very funny cartoon. I like it, and what I have decided to try is to model all the Wacky Races cars. So if we take a look at the Wacky Races cars here, we have 11 cards. Here we have it. And I'm going to try to model each and every single one of them, if I'm able to. So these cars, they are numbered, and I have decided to start with from 10 to 0. Why? Well, because the Mean Machine and Dick Dastardly, I am not. I don't think of when I think of him, I think of him using the name in my country, not the original name. So here's my favorite character and my favorite car, and I have decided to model it last, so I have so that I will have some experience before trying to do it. So today we're going to try to do the Buzzwagon. I haven't seen this. Okay, the Buzzwagon. So the first step that I took in order to try to model it is to search for references. And here they have references that I have gathered. So we have the car. I found this very interesting sculptures that they made. I would like one, but they are very expensive. I cannot buy them. But they are very good for me to use as references. Some people have made real size models of the cars, which are very nice, very cool too. We have paper models, and I have also gathered some references for the materials that make the car. So the car, here the character is a lumberjack, and his entire car is made of wood. So I have lots of pieces of lumber and some references from an X, and some more references of wood here. So I'm going to keep these references on a second monitor, and I will try to use them throughout my modeling. So let's move then. And here we have it. Okay, so I don't think I'll keep the chat here. Realistically, nobody's going to watch this, so it's lots of screen real space that it's occupying. But I will put it here on my second monitor so I can take a look at it. No. Okay, so let's try to begin. So first things first, let's delete the default cube, as everybody does. And what I want to do is to put an image here to use as a reference. And the image I'm going to use is this one. So here I have my references, and I'm going to use this one here. So let's so I need to first put it on the left side view, and now I can bring it to the screen here. I'm going to, okay, so I have here on the screen. Let's grab it and move it a little bit so we can more or less put the tires, the saw tires on the ground here. And let's scale it a little bit. So first, this is not a perfect reference because here we have a little bit of perspective, and ideally we would have a perfect lateral view to use as a reference, but that's the best I have today. So I'm going to use it anyway. So the first thing I'm going to do is try to scale it in order to make the image more or less the same size of the object in real life if the Buzzwagon would to be really actually existed in the world. So what I think I'm going to do is, so if you're not familiar with Blender, these main squares here on the grid have about 1 meter. The side is about 1 meter in length. So I think that I'm going to make the tires to be about half a meter. Yeah, half a meter. So if you take a look here, more or less here, if we just scale it a little bit, yes, I think the tire is now about half a meter in size. Let's increase it just a little bit. We can adjust the scale later. And here we have it. Yeah. That's it. Have the tires, let's save. And if I orbit here, you see that the image now exists on the 3D world of Blender. Very nice. Next thing I'm going to do is to make it so that I am not able to select the image when I'm modeling. And to do that, I'm going to click the image. Here on filters, I'm going to click here to add the selectable filter. And what I'm going to do is deactivate the selection. So now I can click here and my image will not be selected. I can still see it, but I cannot select it. That will help a lot. So let's save it. I think I'm going to create a new collection. We're going to call it References. And I'm going to move my image to here. And I'm also going to rename my image to side view. Side view. Okay. So here we have our image ready to be used as a reference. What I would like to do too is to make it a little bit transparent, but I'm not sure how you can do it. So we are going to need to Google some things probably. Maybe I can find them here. Let's take a look. Data object properties. Here we have it, opacity. Let's decrease the opacity. Very nice. Okay, so we have a semi-transparent thing that I'm going to use as a reference. Let's save again. Always save. No, I don't want this view. I want here this view. Okay. So, okay. Okay, so let's start. I think I'm going to start with the wheels that are actually saws in the Buzzwagon. So what I'm going to do is to add a mesh. I'm going to add a cylinder. And here we have it. But I'm going to scale it on the first on the z-axis. So it's much thinner. And now I'm going to rotate it on the x-axis, 90 degrees. Back to our view here. Grab it, make it a little bit here, and scale it again. So I was thinking about half a meter. Yeah, let's use half a meter. Nope. Yeah. So in the Z direction, I want much less. Let's rescale this thing here. Scale Y. Scale a little more. Y. See, let's go to 2 centimeters. Yeah, that's okay. I think an actual saw would be much thinner, but this is not a saw, it's a wheel in the Wacky Races universe. So I don't care very much about this problem. So let's put it more or less on the ground here. Okay, save, and most importantly, apply all the transformations. Okay, so we have our saw here. Let's see how's the mesh. Okay. So now we have come to our first problem. How am I going to create the thief? The tooth? Thief? Not thief. I'm not going to steal anything. The teeth. How to create the teeth. So what I think I'm going to do is try to use a boolean. I'm going to create a new object that's going to be more or less have more or less the shape that I want here. I'm going to apply a modifier. I think I can apply a modifier to do this and create a pattern, a circular pattern here. And then I'm going to use a boolean to cut this pattern off here on my cylinder. Is this going to work? I don't know. But that's the whole point of trying to do a project when you're learning. Easy, and my cylinder should not be here. Let's create a new collection. Let's call it wheels. Okay. And so what would be the best object to do this? Maybe use a curve. Yes, maybe a curve would be the best, but I'm not very confident on my ability to use a curve. Maybe modify a mesh. Yeah, let's try to modify a cube here. Let's scale it way down. Grab it, put it here. Okay, so let's create this tooth. Grab a little bit more here. Okay, so let's apply a bunch of cuts. Okay, so object mode, let's enter edit mode. I want to apply a bunch of cuts here on the cube. So I have more points to work with. Apply, Control R again. Yes, I think that's it. But no, Control Z. Control Z again. Control R. Number of cuts, 10 cuts. Apply. Control R again. Number of cuts, 10 cuts. Apply. Enter. Okay, so now I have a better shape to work with. I think the best first step would be to rotate the cube. And here I'm just rotating the front face. So let's turn on the X-ray mode. Select everything and rotate it. And then grab it. Let's put it here. I think a little bit here. Okay. And what I'm going to do is use the proportional editing to modify my mesh in order to make my tooth. So here, if you think about it, we more or less have a tooth here, but we would have a very bad tooth here. If I could just cut everything like this, it would be very good. How can I do it? I think I can use the knife tool. So if you pick the knife tool, comes from here to here. Let's try it again. From here. Again. From here to here. Okay. Now we have a bunch of new geometry. And if we, I don't remember, does the knife tool affect everything or just the front face? Just the front of the face. And that's not what I wanted. Yes, but I more or less have what I wanted here. Let's do something very jank. Let's select all these faces here. There's probably a way to use the knife tool in all the faces, but I don't know how to do it. Okay, so I have selected these faces here. And oh, there's two faces missing. Let's select. No. Turn off X-ray. Select, 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 select. Yeah, this was not my plan. Let's cancel our extrusion. Go back to the Y. Turn off the X-ray. Select these faces. Shift. Okay. Now you're going to extrude it internally. All the way here. Oops. Yeah, all the way here. Okay. Apply. Let's select again. That's the grab. It's okay. Okay, so I have extruded here, but now I can need to get rid of these faces here. So I'm going to just select them and delete them. Delete faces. Control Z, delete. So faces, I have overlapping geometry here. What's overlapping here? Let's try to do it again. Select the faces. Maybe if I select these faces too. Let's try to do it. If I hold Control. No. Oh, the joys of being a beginner. Select all the faces. Here. Select more faces here. And then extrude here. Okay. Oh, that went better than I had expected. So we have extruded here our faces. And now I'm going to try to delete all these faces here. Delete. So faces. No, whatever. I don't think I need this. Okay, so let's back to the front view here. Let's turn on our X-ray. And what I'm trying to do now, what I'm going to try to do now is to make this line here a little bit better. So we're going to turn on, let's select the vertices, turn on proportional editing, grab. Okay, why this is not working? Grab. Okay, why? Grab. No, Control Z. Okay, so why is the whole thing moving instead of just a point? Maybe the size of the proportional editing is really big. I think it's F for size. Control F. Hold F. Oh, what's going on? Why can't I just move a fucking vertex? Grab. Uh, move. Control Z. Ay. Let's turn off. Let's see if it works this way. Okay, this way it's working. But when I turn on proportional editing, the whole thing moves. So I think my proportional editing effect area is too big. How do I make it smaller? I think it's with F, but F is not working. Hold F, Control F. So let's go to Google. Blender, proportional editing, size. Let's take a look. Edit mode, influence. You can increase or decrease the mod view. Okay. So select it, grab. Oh, there. Size. The size is increasing. I want it to decrease. Oh, okay. Now you're talking. That's it. Okay. So I'm going to select this vertex here, proportional editing, grab. I want it a little bit smaller. Okay. Control Z. Okay, this is very bad and you should not do it. But I have no idea how to do it the right way. So this is the way I'm going to do it. For now, at least. Red. Okay, so you have a line. And it's going down a little bit too fast. Let's try to, yeah, here. Here's okay. Grab. Because we are making a Wacky Races car, perfection is not required. Not at all required. So I think this is okay. Yeah. Here I am in complete denial. Let's try to move this a little bit here. Grab. Grab here. Grab here. Okay, so now we have this very deformed, very bad geometry here. And I'm going to try to use it to cut my cylinder. Let's go back to object node, turn off wireframe, turn off X-ray. Here we have it. Let's see the other side. Seems fine. Oh my god, let's try to use it to cut it. Okay, so now I have this here, and I'm going to try to make it a pattern. A circular pattern on the whole cylinder. So I think there's a modifier for that. So add modifier. Let's take a look. Here it is, array modifier. Fixed count, relative offset, v caps. Okay, so we're not seeing fit length, fit curve. Curve, fit curve. Yeah, maybe if it needs a curve in order to work. So let's add a curve. Add curve. I want a circle. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees on the x-axis with scale. Grab here. What's the size of my cylinder? 0.5. Let's put 0.5 here. And position. Grab. And let's more or less fit the cylinder here. Okay, I think it's working. Save. Back here, fit curve, Bezier circle. Relative offset, X factor. Constant offset. Offset's too small. Object offset. Duplicate object a certain number of times. Fit curve. Fit the duplicated objects to curve. Relative offset. Vector X. Nothing changing. Y, nothing changing. Nothing changing. So this is not it, it seems. Since X. What's going on here? Distance Y. Blah, 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 blah. Not working. Maybe it's another modifier. Let's see the modifiers again. Add modifier. Resolution, screw, solidify, subdivision, triangulate, wireframe. Before, modify, generate. I think it's generate. Array. Let's Google it. Blender array modifier. Array modifier. No, let's take the Blender 3.1. Array modifier. Touchdown curve, length, fit curve. Generates enough copy to fit within the length of the curve specified in curve. Okay. Field sets, button size, content offset, object offset. As a transform, relative to current objects. Good. Merge. Offset calculation. Okay, so it seems that the correct one is object offset. Let's try this. Object offset. Object. Why is not working? Why? Let's keep this here. Blender, circular array. Creating red arrays. Mirroring Blender. Let's take a look. Creating geometry. Create a circle. Create a circle, mesh circle. Okay, so it's using a mesh instead of using a Bezier curve. Add circle. Apply array modifier. Specify count 9. Generative model check. What you have set. Text loader set. Click empted created. And geometry in the z-axis you can see. Okay. 3 vertices. Create an empty at the center of the circle. It's to be created. Object offset. Set geometry. 100. Here's the z-axis. You can see 9. Okay, seems to be one way to do it. Let's try the other result here. Number of models, Maya easier. Doing it. Curves away. Okay, there's a tool to do just that. Oh, there's a Blender secrets video. Let's take a look. Okay. Alt ES. Well, thank you very much. Blender secrets. Let's try this. So I'm going to delete this modifier. I'm going to center everything in my fill. I'm going to move my pretty cursor to the center of the cylinder. Cursor to selected. Where is the center of my cylinder? Oh, it's here. That's a bad sign. I don't know why this happened, but let's put the center of the cylinder inside the cylinder. Set origin to geometry. Save. Okay. Snap. Cursor to selected. Snap. Cursor to selected. Okay. Select my way. Alt Shift E. No, what's the shortcut? Alt E and S. Alt E S. No, Alt E S. Okay, I need to be inside edit mode. Z, edit mode, object, Alt E S. Okay, seems to be working now. Let's create less steps. Control Z, create X-ray to select everything. Alt E S. No, did not work. Control Z. No, not wireframe. X-ray. I always mix the two. X-ray. Select everything. Alt E S. Okay, now we're talking. Let's take a look here. 9. Yeah, I think 9 would be okay. Okay. And here we have it. Very janky, but it seems to be working. So what have I just done? I used Alt E S inside edit mode. It's something to do with extrude. Extrude to cursor. Video. Shift. Spin. I think I used the spin. Extrude selected vertex in a circle around the cursor. Yes, it seems that I have used this tool here on edit mode. Okay, let's go back to object mode. Turn off wireframe. Okay. Save. Let's delete this Bezier curve that I did not need. Okay, and here we have it. Now, let's try to use the Boolean modifier to do my bidding. Okay, so let's select the cylinder, add modifier, Boolean. I want difference object cube. And if I hide cube, nothing. Intersect. Union difference. I think the right one is the difference. But it seems to not be working. Intersect. Union. Okay, so union have united the two. Difference. Maybe it's happening, maybe it's not. Intersect. If I hide the cube, what do I see? Nothing. Behind the cylinder, what do I see? Nothing. Union. Hide the cube. Yes, difference. Hide the cube. Let's take dictation. What's the name? Boolean modifier. Boolean modifier. Boolean modifier. Boolean modifier here. Boolean modifier performs operation on meshes that are otherwise too complex to achieve. It uses only the three oblations. This modifier needs a second mesh collection of mesh. Union. Union intersection difference using modifier apply to the sphere and using the cube as a target. Apply to the sphere and using the cube as a target. Okay, so I think that in order to do what I want to do, instead of applying the modifier to my cylinder, that's my wheel, I need to apply it to my cube. That is my weird shape that I'm going to try to cut. So Boolean object cylinder. Difference, let's hide the cube. No, union, hide the cube. Hide the cylinder. Intersect. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Apply to the cube using the cylinder. Let's take a look at the mesh. What's going on with this mesh? Maybe my thing here is too complicated. Okay, let's do a test. Let's deactivate this here. Let's hide my weird shape that I made. Let's add a cube, normal cube. No, not a plane, a cube. Scale it way down. And grab here, Shift A, Control A, apply scale. Okay, so now I have a simplified version of the thing I was trying to do with my weird object. So what I want is to use my cube to cut my cylinder. And the way to do it, I think, is by using the Boolean modifier. So let's first try to apply it to the cube using the object as a target cylinder. And now it's difference. Let's turn on X-ray, see if there's something happening here. Turn off X-ray. Okay, it seems that nothing is happening. Time, object, collection, union, intersect. How does this work? Union. Okay, collection. Okay. Okay, union. So we are uniting the two things. Okay, difference. Nothing. Intersect. Okay. So by applying the Boolean modifier to the cube and using intersection, only the things on the cube that intersected with the cylinder were kept. Okay. But why, when I use difference, the same thing does not happen? So intersect everything. Union. The target mesh or collection is added to the modified mesh. Difference. The target mesh or collection of meshes is subtracted from the modified mesh. Everything outside the target mesh is kept, so it should be difference. The target mesh or collection is subtracted from the modified mesh. Okay, so by my understanding, we need to apply the modifier to my cylinder using the difference, and I'm going to select the cube. And nothing's happening. Let's hide the image here right real quick. Fast, exact, over options, subtersection, fault tolerance. What is going on? Union, intersect. So I can do the opposite of what I want. I want the difference. Why does the difference not work? Hide the cube. Not working. It's a problem of a cylinder. Let's try another cube. Find cylinder, show the cube, Shift D, duplicate the cube. So let's die here, add modifier, Boolean, Target is the other cube, and now in the difference. Union, intersect, difference. By the other cube, nothing. Okay. We are at, I don't know how many times. I think more than 1 hour of streaming and I cannot make a fucking wheel. What's going on? Blender, Boolean, difference not working. What am I doing wrong? It's a mesh, I want to cut holes. Need to move doubles on the carving. No, things normals, doubles. No manifold geometry. Union intersect. All normals facing out. Which do not share volume in 3D space. How to do a subtracted boolean. Make sure you select the object to be carved from, and add a boolean modifier. From the modifier equation, choose difference. For the object field, choose the object that will do the carving. Apply the boolean modifier and delete your carving object. And you can hide the carving. Meshes can be slow totally. The mesh is in the wrong direction. If your knobs are just fine, large endgons can cause boolean to fail. Avoid booleans if you want to observe. Okay, so there's a problem with normals. Let's take a look. Blender. Invert normals. Flip normals. Flip normals. Mesh normals flip. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to follow the exact same example that's here. I need a sphere. I need a cube. Apply modifier, apply to the sphere. Shift A, add sphere. Scale, scale, grab, grab, Control A, apply, scale. So here we have it. So with modify apply to the sphere, Boolean using the cube. Right? Using the cube as a target. Union, intersection, and difference. Apply to the sphere using the cube as a target. Sphere, using cube as a target. Right? Intersection. Okay, it works as I would expect. Union also works as I would expect. Difference. Nothing. Hide the cube. Do I need to apply it in order for it to work? Let's try. Apply. Grab. Nothing. It's the normal thing. Oh, it cut the thing. But it not delete the thing. We just come here. So it's generating the new faces, but it's not carving them out. Normals. Okay, so it curated here the new vertices that we wanted. If I come here, why it's not deleting the damn things? That's the problem. It's creating the geometry, but it's not deleting it. Is this the expected behavior? Is this a bug? I don't think it's a bug. Object, viewport, cube 1, delete, cube 2. Wireframe, nothing. New cube, let's see. Nothing. Okay, let's save this. Let's try once again. With a very simple case. Shift A, mesh, cube. Shift A, mesh, UV sphere. And let's make the sphere a little bit larger than the cube. A, apply scale. Here we have it. Nice. Now, documentation. Modifier, apply to the sphere using the cube as a target. Let's select our sphere, apply the Boolean modifier, and use as a target the cube. Here's the intersection, here's the union, here's the difference. Okay, and now if I hide the cube, it worked. I don't know if that's a good sign or it's a bad sign. Let's try the same thing again. Delete the cube, delete the sphere. Control A, Shift A, add cube. Let's scale 0.5, which is more or less the size of things. Scale 0.5 again. Okay, so now we have something more or less of the same size of the objects we are trying to modify here. Save. Right? Shift A, mesh, UV sphere. Scale, 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 scale. Here we have it. Right? S. Apply scale, apply scale. Select the sphere, use the modifier, get the cube as difference. Hide the cube. It worked. Nice. Okay. Let's delete our sphere. No. Delete the sphere. Get the cube here. Let's see our cylinder here. Scale the cube. Grab here. Control S. Cube. Cylinder. Select the cylinder. Add the modifier. Select the cube. Hide the cube. It worked. Delete the cube. No modifiers. Here you have it. Maybe it's an origin thing. Let's try to set origin to geometry. Save. Select the cylinder. Add a Boolean modifier object here. Hide this cube. Nothing. Add a cube. Add another cube. Scale. Grab. Select the cylinder. Add modifier. Boolean modifier. Get the cube. Work. Let's move the cube to the same thing. Hide the cube. Works. Show the other stuff. Back here. Grab it here. Is it failing and not seeing it? There is no message or anything. Hit a cube. No. Control S. Let's add the cube. Scale. Grab. Let's put it here. Control S. Okay. Control A. Apply scale. Maybe my other cube. Yeah, this scale is not alright. Control A. Apply scale. Is this it? Is this it? Cube. Hide the cube. No. Cube 1. It worked. Okay, so let's try one more test. Tab to spin. It's going to spin around the y-axis. Control Z. How do I change the direction of the spin? Extrude, select the circle. Extrude. Turn on X-ray. Turn off X-ray. Spin. I need to rotate the cursor. Alt E. Spin. X. It's an extrude spin. Edge slide, change here. Spin. What is Alt E? Blender. Alt E. F Alt E. Alt E. Start, stop, edit mode, edit mode. This is outdated. 2.36 probably Common shortcuts. Blender shortcuts. F Alt plus E. What is Alt E doing? I need to understand what the fuck Alt E is doing. No, I don't want to extrude stuff. That's one of my problems with Blender tutorials. Some of them rely a lot on shortcuts, and they don't exactly explain what the shortcut is doing. So what does Alt E do when I have something like this selected? Alt E. Alt E S. Object mode. Let's select everything. Okay. Object mode, select the cube, edit mode. X-ray is X-ray. Alt Z, select everything. Alt E, extrude. Extrude faces, extrude vertices, extrude repeat, spin. Extrude repeat, throw Z, extrude spin. That's the stuff. Control Z. So it's some sort of extrude. So if I come here to the extrude, extrude region. S. Spin. How do I change this thing here? Steps. Playgrounds. Control Z. Blah blah blah, whatever. Select here. Spin. Let's start with the spin. Okay. Axis. I want to spin around the y-axis. And I want 3 steps, 2 steps, 1 step, 60. 360. Two steps, three steps, four steps, 5 steps, whatever. Apply. Edit mode, object mode, wireframe. Turn off this here. Okay, so it seems that that command was using some sort of, was using the spin, but with another configuration. I don't really understand what was going on there. But here we have basically the same object that we had before. I will set origin to geometry here. So it's on the center. And I'm gonna move it to the same collection that my thing was here. Save. And I'm going to select the cylinder, add the Boolean modifier, select my cube, and use difference. Hide the cube, and it just doesn't work. Maybe it's some sort of trouble with normals. Let's try to come here, select everything, mesh, normals, recalculate outside. Mesh, normals. Okay, how can I see the normals? Show normals. Overlay button. Normals, blah blah. Header to overlays, display normals. Overlays, overlays. Normals. Slides. Okay, so the normals are on the outside. And if we take a look at our cylinder, those normals are on the inside. So maybe mesh normals recalculate outside. Inside. Select everything, mesh, normals, recalculate outside. Okay. So now the normals are pointing to the outside here, and it's pointing to the outside here. And I think it worked. Oh yes, here it is. It worked with my perfect cube, it worked. Let's see if it works with my completely deformed cube. Let's see it. Did it work? Did it work? Let's hide it. No, it did not work. You. So you have a cylinder here. And I'm going to... Okay, so before we despair, let's take a look at my deformed cube here. Let's go here and see what the fuck is going on. Yeah, the normals are kind of messed up. Let's select everything. Mesh, normals. Recalculate outside. Okay. So we have now recalculated what outside is on our very weird, very bad mesh. Save everything. Go back here. Turn off X-ray and try to apply our Boolean modifier. Object, difference, cube. Let's hide our cube. And it kind of worked for some, not worked for everything. And I have absolutely no idea why it did not work here. Oh, yes. Brilliant. Magnificent. What is going on? Why this thing here is not working? Okay, so here is what I am going to try to do. I'm going to just try to fix my completely deformed cube here. And maybe after we fix it, things are going to actually work. So let's go to our cube. Let's go to edit mode. We don't need to see the normals. Oh, no. So let's turn this off. Okay, I'm going to delete all the others. Here, we can recreate them later. Delete faces. Can recreate them later, now that we understand what was going on. Delete faces. Delete faces. Delete faces. Delete faces. And delete faces. Delete faces. Okay. So here we have our deformed cube with all this overlapping geometry here. And what I want to do is to get rid of everything here. So let's try to just start deleting stuff. Okay, delete faces. Delete. Delete. Vertices. Okay, now we go the Y direction, but from the other side. And we delete these things here. That's just the problem. The problem it was the first knife that we used. I needed the knife to cut through everything, and we just cut it through the first face. I need to figure out how to cut everything the first time later. But okay. Let's select these things, delete, no, delete, delete. Let's take a look here. How can we do this? I can try to recreate the cut with the knife, but from this side now. And by doing so, I will more or less have the vertices that I need. Right? So if I just come here like this, let's see what was happening. Nothing. Let's try to hide the X-ray. Knife. Like this. Okay. And now I have them. And now I can just start deleting stuff. Select circle. Yeah, select circle. It's awesome. Delete, 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 delete. And now we have this here. And all of this trouble could have been avoided if I just knew how the fuck to use the knife tool. But I did not know how to use the knife tool. So now I have all this problem. So now what you're going to do is join all those things here. So join, Control Z, select box, Shift, join, invalid selection order. Why? Join, invalid selection order. Why? Join. Why? Why? Why it's happening? Maybe if I select the edges, join. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Oh, I think I know what's going on. Do I know what's going on? I thought I knew, but it doesn't seem that I do. So we have vertex here, vertex here, vertex here, vertex here. And I want to join these vertices. And if I do, okay, I selected the wrong vertex. I have this vertex and I have this vertex. I want to join it. Why is it joining it with the other things there? I don't want to do. Maybe I want to extrude this vertex. Extrude. Turn off. Grab here. Grab here. Okay. Now if we could just snap vertices, merge vertices at center. Okay. Now they have been merged, and now I want to create a face. So if I select this four vertices and join invalid selection. Why? Why? Oh, the vertex is going all the way there. Why? Oh, I see it. Z. I see it now. This surface here and this surface here, they do not share the same vertices. That's the problem. So how do we fix it? Here's an idea. I'm going to move all these vertices to as close as possible to these vertices, and then I'm going to fuse them, merge them together. And I think that this should fix my problem. So grab Y. Why is my thing not working? Grab Y. Okay. Really close. Not too close. And now I need to merge them. And the way to do it is merging by distance, I think. Well, we can always, let's say before, merge by distance. Let's increase the distance. See how things are going. A little bit less. Okay, Control Z. Let's move them a little bit closer. And I think, okay, grab Y. Okay. And now merge vertices by distance. And they have been kind of merged. It seems that it worked. Let's increase the distance a little. Yeah, it seems to be had work. All this trouble because I don't know how to use the fucking knife tool. And just to make sure, let's select everything, merge vertices by distance. And let's decrease the distance here. Okay. Now we have this distorted thing here, but I believe that this thing is more or less topologically correct. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I think this is going to work. Let's take a look at the normals. Yeah, things seems to be all right. Control S. Let's deactivate the normals overlay. And let's try to apply. Okay, no. Let's try this one and then we can modify it and fix it later. There seems to be some weird stuff going on there. Does it? Okay. So add modifier, Boolean modifier, difference, Q. And it worked. Let's hide the cube. Here we have it. All right. Let's turn this off. Now let's create a circular pattern here. So edit mode, X-ray, select all the vertices, spin, extrude the vertices. The axis will be the y-axis, so 0, 1, 0. The center is their center there. And we are going to use... I'm sorry, my door just... The wind just slammed my door. Okay, so now we have 8 copies. Let's go back to edit mode, object mode. Turn off the X-ray and add the Boolean modifier. Boolean, and our target is the cube. And it did not work. But maybe, just maybe, the normals are all wrong now. So let's try to fix this. Tab. Let's see how the normals are. Yeah, they are all over the place. Let's just select everything with the X-ray. Mesh normals. Recalculate outside. Okay. Save. Turn off the normals overlay. Go back to object mode. Go back to our cylinder. Hide the cube. And here we have it. After God knows how many hours of doing this thing, I have finally managed to create my sawmill. I am obviously a genius. Let's take a look here. Look how beautiful it is. It's magical. It's beautiful. It's absolutely brilliant. Oh my god. Okay. This took much longer than I thought it would take. But here we have it. Our wheel. Let's take a look at the wireframe, how things are doing. Yeah. Here it is. Here we have it. Our saw wheel. I think I'm going to make it a little bit bigger later. But for now, I think that's it. I have finally managed to do a very basic shape on Blender. Thank you very much for everyone in the future watching this. I will try to make it a little bit better. But that's the fun of it. If I just prepare everything and rehearse before and then just do the things and they just work the first time. It's not fun. It's a tutorial. And this is not a tutorial. This is me messing around with Blender, trying to do stuff and trying to learn stuff. So, thank you very much. I will try to continue this series maybe next week or this week. I don't know. But thank you very much again. I am Cage. Goodbye.